My name is Kevin Nobley. I'm going to talk about big data. How many of you have heard about big data? This funny term, big data. Wow. When I heard about it last year in an article in Harvard Business Review, I didn't look at it. I didn't think it was that important. But eventually, when I started researching for this presentation, I really understood the importance of big data. The phrase, the saying, you can't manage what you don't measure, by management fathers Deming and Drucker, explains why businesses need to understand better how to manage the digital information. There's a flood of information from all sources. We are all overwhelmed. Like us, companies get flooded with digital information from various sources. Well, as we all know, data-driven decisions are better decisions than decisions based on intuition. And there's a lot of hidden information, hidden knowledge in data that can transform businesses. And this is embedded within the digital data that cannot be understood by the regular systems available now. Big data can expose the hidden gems of knowledge. It can look into the data, capture, analyze, come up with solutions, and expose the hidden knowledge within the digital information. Well, Gartner Inc. is the premier world's leading authority and company in information technology research and advisory. They predict big data initiatives will result in $230 billion in IT spending through 2016. And the MIT survey of 330 non-public companies, of public North American companies, revealed that companies employing data-driven decisions were 5% more predictive and 6% more profitable. Big data enables managers to make decisions based on evidence rather than intuition. So what's big data? Gartner defines big data as high volume, high velocity, high variety of information assets that demand cost-effective, innovative forms of information processing for enhanced insight and decision making. It's neither a technology or a suite of products. It's a phenomenon that came about due to the digital information explosion. Big data can analyze dynamic and voluminous data. Unlike the current data warehouses and information databases available now, this can actually analyze dynamic information. The current systems can look at historical data and come up with the trend and solution. So the big data opportunities emerged when major changes in technology areas, 4 main technology areas converged by the end of 2008 to the end of 2009. The memory capacity, which actually, these changes increased the computing capacity tremendously. The memory doubled for half the price. For systems could buy bigger memory for a reduced price. And the high-speed, high-performance network became available for a lower price. And storage technology advances moved from high-performance disks to solid-state disks and flash. And the processor performance doubles every 2 years. Okay. And the convergence of all these technology advancements made computing, higher performance computing possible. Well, in addition to the technology and the voluminous data that was flooding the businesses, the core component of big data is data scientists. These are people who make sense out of unstructured data. They are a hybrid of hackers, analysts, communicators, and trusted advisors. The core skills are data management, analytics modeling, and business analysis. They need to have soft skills to be effective. Some of the soft skills are communication, collaboration, leadership, a passion for understanding the data. This on the left side is an article from Harvard Business Review, which claims that data scientist is going to be the sexiest job in the 21st century. And on the right, these are the core data scientist skills that's necessary, and it lists out the main areas. So what's different about big data? The volume. As of 2012, 2.5 exabytes of data is created each day. Exabyte is 1 followed by 18 zeros. Walmart actually collects more than 2.5 petabytes of data every hour from customer transactions. That's 1 followed by 15 zeros. And the velocity, the speed of data creation is more important than volume for some applications. MIT lab actually estimated the Macy's sales by looking at the location data from mobile phones of the people parked in the Macy's parking lots. And the third thing that's different about big data is variety. Every person is a walking data generator. We carry our cell phones, we have GPS, we have other things. And the data available is unstructured and unwieldy. So normal systems cannot handle it. So the new technology, big data, can look at the data, analyze, and come up with solutions. So these are some of the data-driven companies. Google and Amazon actually have data-driven business models, and they overcame the competition. And some of the examples here are airlines actually used some YTTA, a service called YTTA, which came up with almost exact estimated time of arrival to improve profitability of airline industry. Sears used big data to get speedier and more personalized promotions. And you may have heard about Google Flu Trends. This is actually based on some search keywords. Google was able to predict the flu area, the flu infection in certain areas faster than CDC. Because the CDC data came, well, this chart here shows the blue line as Google's flu trend estimates based on search, and it's dynamic and immediately available. And the yellow line is the United States CDC information, which comes after 3 weeks. So they were able to predict accurate information instantaneously using big data. Well, what we have seen so far is what big data is, and what the definition of big data is, how it is applied, and the various major components of the big data, the business drivers for big data, and how it can be beneficial for companies to make them more profitable.